Everyone, for my video project, I chose to talk about Alex the Parrot. He is a famous bird in the world of psychology. Some of you, I know I have seen him in previous psychology classes, but if you haven't, I'm going to talk to you and show you how important he was to psychology and also research, including with animals. So now that we have a name to the face, this is Alex the Parrot. He is an African gray parrot, and usually they live between 80 to 90 years in the wild, but in captivity they only live up to 40 or 50. Alex estimated to be born in 1976 and unfortunately passed on September 6, 2007. And before Alex's time, it was widely thought that in research only primates and dolphins, because they're wicked smart, were the only animals to handle complex problems related to understanding. And typically, the only time we would see birds, like pigeons, in a psychological research setting would be involved in a Skinner box. The problems they would be given weren't that complex to us. It would just be simple, just to see their behavior. But Alex broke the wheel with that. He showed that more animals besides apes and dolphins would have a complex and cognitive communication skills. And it was also assumed that birds could only communicate with each other through mimicking and making sounds like them. No one could think that they'd be able to be presented a problem and say something else. But in 1977, in a pet store no less, Alex would meet the woman that would groom him to be the bird that we know him for today. So this is Alex's partner in crime, Dr. Irene Pepperberg. A little background on her and her early history with Alex. She mainly focused on animal cognition, particularly in parrots, and she actually named Alex after the project they were doing. The acronym ALEX stands for Avian Learning Experiment, and she picked Alex just because he looked like an average representation of the species, and basically without her, Alex wouldn't be the bird he is with today. And even though he has passed, they use his memory and the training that they did together to train other parrots to find more cognitive skills in parrots, because he only died halfway through his life. By the time he died, they said that Alex showed the intelligence of a 5-year-old child and the emotional level of a 2-year-old. So that shows how much we haven't found in cognition with animals like parrots. So definitely shows how special and important their training is, and we'll talk about that in our next slide. And the model rival technique was used with Dr. Pepperberg and Alex the Parrot to learn all this new information. I haven't seen it anywhere else, but in avian research, it focuses on identifying shapes, colors, bigger, smaller objects, and number concepts. And how it was set up, there would be 2 individuals and obviously a parrot. So it would be Dr. Pepperberg, another colleague, and then Alex. The other colleague would be used as the model/rival in this technique, so that the parrot would have someone to mimic when learning the new concepts. So in this case, the trainer, Dr. Pepperberg, would ask the peer who was portraying a parrot a question. It would be, what shape? And then the trainer would respond the way a parrot would, so that Alex would be able to hear a sound familiar to him and be able to process it, and so he's familiar. And what they would do is they'd go through certain questions, what shape, what color, stuff of that nature. And the trainer would also illustrate consequences. So if Dr. Pepperberg asked the rival what shape, and it just made a gurgling sound that a parrot would, because it wouldn't know the word, then obviously it wouldn't be given the reward. So Alex would see that, and then they would do the right way. So it would say, what shape? 4 corner. And then Alex would see the rival getting the reward from that, so he would obviously repeat that behavior. And the way that Alex would learn a particular object would be, after learning the name of the particular object, he would be tested by being exposed to the object in different colors. So he would first be shown a square, he'd learn that, and then Dr. Pepperberg would show him different colors, like on the picture right here. He would learn green, then blue, then red, and so on. And through this technique, at the height of Alex's career, he couldn't use language necessarily, but he could identify 50 different objects and their colors, shapes. He had a vocabulary of 150 words to identify. He could count up to 8, and before his passing, he was learning the alphabet. So through this, just Dr. Irving Pepperberg was able to tap a wealth of unknown knowledge in the cognitive psychology and birds necessarily, because before this we could never have known that a parrot from a pet store would be able to do all of this and more potentially. Birds she's working with now are reaching Alex's heights in intelligence and are still not even halfway there. There's so much room in this particular area of research to grow in. So Alex has helped modern psychology in a way that helps demonstrate abstract concepts existing in non-human animals. Irving Pepperberg started the Alex Foundation after his death to continue research in avian settings, predominantly with African gray parrots. She already has 3 parrots, like I said in the previous slide, that are making great strides to show the cognitive ability they have. And just to get a sense of their understanding of concepts of objects, numerical concepts, and having them produce human speech sounds and communication codes. And obviously a parrot's vocal cords aren't the same as a human, so their attempt to produce language is more extremely harder than it should be, but it goes to show the reach their cognitive abilities have to be able to produce the sounds that they can. And new studies have shown that African gray parrots are capable of abstract and logical reasoning, which before Alex's time, we would only say that primates would be able to comprehend that in studying non-human animals. And I doubt with our technology with fMRI and PET scans, we'd be able to look into a parrot's brain like yours or mine and see what areas of the brain that those logical and abstract reasonings affect. Thank you for taking time and watching and learning about Alex the Parrot with me. He may be gone, but he will never be forgotten. His works will probably continue for a long time in the avian research world, and I'm sure Pepperberg will continue her research through the Alex Foundation. Thank you.